Welcome back to Let's Talk Short Track Racing. Tonight I am pretty solo. I do have a co-host kind of behind the scenes. We've got our producer Alec back there. You'll hear him.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yep. So he's here with me for tonight's show. Otherwise, Jake is. Where is Jake?
Jake is up in Connecticut. He is working with Cletus McFarland, and they're doing a big old event up there. They're doing burnouts. They're doing a bunch of stuff. So he's having a good old time.
Yeah, lucky him.
So he may have slightly upgraded his desk job here because he's working with Larry Mack.
Wow. Okay. We might be a little below his level when he gets back.
Yeah, his ego is going to be big, but we'll try to keep up with him.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're doing a great job. We're working our way there.
We're trying.
1 week at a time. But yeah, welcome back to I believe it's episode 20 of Let's Talk Short Track Racing. We've had a very busy week in the Grant Thormeyer Racing shop. We were up in Berlin for the past week. We were in Wisconsin, Berlin, and then now we're finally all home. We were up there for the Berlin and Great Lakes Classic super modified weekend. It was not such a great weekend in our shop, but we nevertheless had a great time watching all of the racing action there at Berlin and enjoying all of the facilities that Jeff Striegel has made and puts on there each and every week. It was a Saturday night's show. It was really good. Mike Vendetta won that one, and he ran away with it. He probably had, I think all the way up to fourth place lapped. It was a crazy. He was running some crazy speeds.
That's a solid butt whooping at any short track in America.
Yeah, and I think there was a caution with 22 to go, and he was able to pull away that much. So it was crazy. That was my first time seeing the super modifieds live. They were every bit of what everyone has been talking about, how fast they were. I thought it was really interesting. Last week, Jeff was telling us supers run about 16-second laps there at Berlin, and the super modifieds run about 13. And I was like, that seems a little quick. But he was not lying. He did know what he was talking about, and they were quick. It was crazy. It was awesome to see.
No, they always put on a good show. There are three cars out there in short track racing that slightly terrify me. It's super modified, sprint cars, and figure eight racing. So
yeah. Though I'll agree with all three of those, and I think Nick can add super modifieds to the list. He said they were scary, but I think he still wants to get in one.
Are you gonna let him get in one?
I don't think I get a say. I can give an opinion, but I don't think I can stop him.
I look at that ring on your finger. I say that gives you a say.
It gives me the right to an opinion, but I don't think he listens to. I think if he had the opportunity, I think he would do it regardless. But I strongly advise that he stays in a fully enclosed late model. I like them.
Let's work on the insurance policy first, and then we'll see where he's at, right?
Then we can talk. But yeah, so it was a great week up there in Michigan, and now everyone's home. We're getting ready to go to Auburndale is the Grant Thormeyer Racing team's next big race. There wasn't a ton going on, though, in the short track world, mostly small local stuff, which we don't cover a ton of, the just smaller local shows, just because it'd be hard to cover them all.
Yeah,
There's so many.
I think they were racing up in Nashville.
Yep.
So saw a little bit of that, and it looked like there was a crazy finish up there with their pro late race. Two of them came crossing the line crooked.
Oh no, never the way you want to see it end, but always fun.
Exactly. And it looked like that new GMS chassis picked up its second pro late model win.
Wow.
That's John Boland's car. I think it's kind of the flagship GMS car right now. So
wow.
So it should be interesting to see how that team continues, headed up by Tony Uri Sr. and Tony Uri Jr. And I can't recall for the life of me who was driving, but safe to say they're going to be having a good week. So
One to watch out for sure in the coming weeks.
absolutely, absolutely.
But I think that after these messages, we should go ahead and bring in our guest for this week, which is Bill Venturini.
Man, Bill Venturini, man,
Yes.
ARCA Legend himself.
Yeah.
I mean, Venturini Motorsports has been around for a hot minute, and
Yeah.
obviously has been essentially a dynasty these last 2-3 dozen years. It seems like.
Yeah, in the ARCA series, I'm excited to hear about the evolution of it and kind of what's next for them.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it too. Let's go ahead and flip to a commercial break here, and I'll give Bill a call and see if we can get him on here.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Joe Constance with Joe's Racing Products. My company has been producing high-quality racing components in the USA for over 30 years. We know the commitment and determination it takes to win races because we race too. We're determined to produce quality products that can help you get to the finish line first. Ask your dealer for Joe's Racing Products or visit us online at joesracing.com.
Buying or selling a home? It's more than a transaction, it's a strategy. I'm Amy Lynn, and I bring clarity, confidence, and results to your real estate journey. Whether you're searching for the perfect place to call home or preparing to list your home for top dollar, I've got you covered. With smart marketing, strong negotiation, and a network you can trust, I don't just help clients close, I help them win. Let's make your next move the right one.
Race fans, get ready for one of the biggest weekends of the summer. The 4th annual Great Lakes Classic hits Berlin Raceway, July 11th and 12th. Featuring the ISMA Super Modifieds, the fastest short track machines in the country. 2 nights, 1 legendary track. And when the racing ends, the party keeps going with live music after the races both nights. Don't miss it July 11th and 12th at Berlin Raceway. Grab your tickets now at berlinraceway.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Short Track Racing. We have Bill Venturini on the phone with us. He is a ARCA legend. He has won.
Okay,
ARCA.
thanks.
A true ARCA legend in multiple fashions. Welcome to the show.
Well, glad to be here.
So
Looking forward to it.
yeah, Venturini Motorsports has been within ARCA for decades. So your name is
For
definitely
42 years in ARCA.
wow, a true testament to.
Yeah, and 52 years total racing. Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, so you grew up in a racing family. Your father also raced. What was it like kind of just jumping into it, like growing up in a racing family, and what made you decide to jump behind the wheel?
Well, actually, I did grow up in a racing family. My dad raced. I was born in, okay, I'm going to date myself. I was born in 53. My dad raced in 1952 through 1959. So I was only 6 years old when he quit racing. But he raced around the Chicagoland area, Soldiers Field, where the Bears play football, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And O'Hare Stadium and Rockford, Illinois, and Milwaukee. He raced around those areas. And then while I was growing up, he wouldn't let me go stock car racing because he knew how addicting it was. And he said, as long as you lived in my house, you can't race. So I turned 20 and I got married, and I was a mechanic at his gas station. And he gave me 2 weeks vacation for my honeymoon. So my wife comes from a little racing background family. We took 1 week to go on our honeymoon, and the second week we came back and I got a hobby stock car ready to go racing. And I've been racing since my honeymoon.
Wow. What a lady to let you race on your honeymoon.
Oh, I got to tell you, she's I don't know if she's more dedicated to this or not than me, but when I was racing like the late models, which was at Rockford Speedway for through 73 through 77. Well, then I decided I was going to quit. I said, I'm done. And I think I was home maybe 2 months. And she said, you got to go racing. I can't stand you around the house. And believe it or not, so then I made a comment to her. And like a dummy, I said, well, if I'm going to go racing, and now you got to realize this is back in 1977, 78. And USAC stock car division was pretty good in the Midwest around Milwaukee and, the Chicagoland area and Springfield. And they were in Atlanta and some other big tracks. So I told her, I said, well, the only way I'm going to go racing again is we're going to go USAC racing. And I just happened to mention that to her. And she says, okay. So she had our family doctor who she saw regularly because she had allergies. So she went out there every week and she started to talk to him. And she says, well, and believe it or not, his name was Dr. John Bellucci, but not the Blues Brothers guy. He could have passed for his twin, but he was not him. And she come back and she says, John wants to talk to you. And I said, are you kidding? I says, you did tell him this isn't going to be $6,000. Now, back then, this was what I said, it's not going to be $6,000 for us to race. It's going to be $60,000. And she says, yeah, he knows. And I said, what? So the following week, when she went out for her allergy shots, I went with her. And sure enough, he wanted to do it. And I made him a deal. I said, well, you got to come up with the money. I'll supply the work and the labor. But and he did it for 2 years. And that's how she forced me to go USAC stock car race.
Wow. That is you're right. She is truly dedicated. That's awesome. That's a great story. So is that how you got back into it?
Yeah, I never really quit. I mean, the season ended, and before the next season even started, I was then racing back. And then that just developed into an ARCA program. And I've been racing ARCA since, 42 years now.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about what it was like getting into ARCA back then? I know ARCA has definitely changed a lot throughout the years. So what are some of the biggest differences?
Okay. So back then in the late 70s, excuse me, the USAC stock car division was thriving better than ARCA. And, John Markham, who was the president, the founder of ARCA, and Bill France Sr. were best buddies growing up. So they had a connection there. Well, I was running USAC because I was from Chicago and ARCA was from Ohio, and I didn't really, at that point, I think they had like 7 or 8 races. And I was running the USAC division. And so one year, I'm trying to think what year it was, 82. I said, we had been going down to Daytona a couple of times to watch the races, for speed weeks. And so then I made a comment to my wife. I says, my one-time dream is I want to be able to race Daytona. So we run, let me think. I think it was 1982. We went to Daytona with an ARCA car, which was my USAC car.
Mm-hmm.
I ran the race and I loved it. And then come 83, I didn't run much in 82. I just ran, I think, 1 or 2 races. But then come 83, I decided, okay, we're going to try ARCA again. And we went to Daytona, and I think I finished like 7th or 8th. And then the next race was Nashville. And I always loved Nashville. This was the old fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, let's go to Nashville. So we go to Nashville, and I finished 2nd at Nashville. Well, now I'm leading the points. Okay, here I am, rookie, 2 ARCA races, and now I'm leading the points. So I make a deal with my wife. Of course, every deal I have to make is with my wife. So
She seems like a hard negotiator.
oh, terrible. Because if she doesn't like what I'm doing, you know how I get cut off on not just physical. I mean, not just on money. so we make a deal. All right, we're going to run ARCA as long as I'm leading the points. Well, what happens is I lead the points from the 2nd race all the way to the last race. So I run the whole 1983 season in ARCA. And then the last race, I ended up losing the points by 5 points, which was like 1 position for the whole season. So now I got the bug.
Yeah.
I win Rookie of the Year. I finished 2nd in the points. So I keep, all right, well, let's try it again next year. So it just rolled over and rolled over. I won my first championship in 1987. And by this time, we had, because from 1983 and 84, I was running, still running, I'm trying to think, it was our IRA was running then, which was a spin-off of USAC, because by this time USAC had kind of folded up. And I was running that. That was just around the Chicagoland area. And we went to Daytona, and coming home one day, I said, Kath, if you ever went to Daytona for speed weeks, and I'm not just talking Daytona International, I'm talking Volusia County, New Smyrna, all the race, everyone's racing there.
Yeah.
And I said, there's about 1,500 racers here in Florida in the month of February. What would make somebody want to sponsor us? I mean, there's so many good racers that you got to do something that was going to be different. So because she was so involved, and by this time, she's helping me in the garage, working on the car and doing all that other kind of BS.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about, well, you know what? Let's try an all-female pit crew.
Yeah.
And we decided, all right, we're going to try it. And I just kept it around the Chicagoland area because I paid for the girls, and it was like one of those type of deals. I didn't have a sponsor or nothing.
Okay.
And we tried them for 2 years, and it got to the point where I just couldn't. We were asked to go do pit stop demonstrations in shopping centers, and before we went to race, we do a pit stop demonstration. But they weren't really doing my pit. Well, they were doing some of my pit stops when I was running IRA and stuff. So finally, I told her, I said, well, we can't afford this anymore. We're going to have to dissolve the all-female pit crew. Now, you got to realize she was the crew chief, and she was the front changer. And I had a couple of my sister-in-laws helped us. And I had, oh my God, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 sister-in-laws that helped us on the crew. And then there was this one girl. At the time, I owned gas stations in Chicago. And she was a friend of, I had 3 gas stations, and my dad had a couple. She was a customer at my dad's gas station, this one lady. And I happened to be working at my dad's gas station, and I said, hey, Mary, we got an all-female pit crew. Would you be interested in doing it? And she said, okay. Needless to say, she has been my wife's best friend since 1985.
Wow. That's cool.
And they are still best friends today. And she lives in Chicago, and we live here in Concord, North Carolina. But she talks to Mary every night at about 7:30. Mary calls, or she calls Mary every night.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep. And so we just decide we're going to dissolve the all-female pit crew because I can't afford to do it anymore. Sure enough, like right after we decide we're not going to do it, Sports Illustrated calls me. Yeah, and they say, "Hey, we want to do a story on your all-female pit crew." And I think, "Oh shit, am I allowed to swear a little?"
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
I go, "Kath, oh shit, Sports Illustrated wants to do a story on us, but we don't have an all-female pit crew anymore." I'm thinking, "Oh God, what are we going to do now?" So I'm running full-time on ARCA now, and Permatex was the series sponsor. So, and I knew the guy that was running the program for Permatex, Bill Price. He was a good friend of ours, and so I tell her, I said, "Kath, well, let's see if Permatex will be willing to sponsor this all-female pit crew deal." So I call up Bill Price, and I said, "Hey, Bill, I want to put the all-female pit crew back together." He knew we had them.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I want to put them back together." I said, "But I need a sponsor. Sports Illustrated wants to do a story on us, but I can't do it unless I have a sponsor." And he says, "How much you need?" And I says, "Well, all I need is I want to pay all the girls' expenses for everything, travel, food, everything. I don't care if I don't make any money, but it just can't cost me any money." He asked me how much. I throw a dollar figure at him. We hang up the phone. 20 minutes later, he calls me back. He says, "You got a deal." I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, we're going to call them the Permatex Ultra Blue Crew. We've got a new product coming out. It's Ultra Blue silicone, and this would be a great way to kick it off." Okay, so we start the all-female pit crew, Permatex, and let me. I'm not going to answer it. You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, so we have Permatex as a sponsor now. So now we got to get serious. Now we're going to be doing live pit stops in ARCA with an all-female pit crew, and so sure enough, Permatex sticks with me for a couple of years. Well, come '87, I win my first national championship in ARCA
Mm-hmm.
using the all-female pit crew, and they were not mechanics. Everyone said, "Well, did they work on the car?" No, they. From the time we got to the racetrack till the time we went home, they worked on the race car. They did not prepare it, but they were my pit crew. They did the pit stops, the jacking, the fueling, changing tires, all of that. So I won my first national championship in ARCA using my all-female pit crew.
Wow. That
That's
led
awesome.
by your wife too, right?
That's how determined my wife is. Yes.
Wow. That is
She,
awesome.
she is she is what you call a hot-headed Italian.
Uh-oh, steer clear. Don't make her angry.
No,
How
but
did
but I must love her. We've been married 52 years.
it works? You can't, and it works that you both are as into racing. If not, she's more into it, and I think that definitely helps relationships, especially when you're both doing it together, because it is such a time-consuming sport that if you're with somebody who's not into it equally or more than you, like it's hard to make it work because you're gone so much.
So we have worked together for 52 years. Literally
Wow.
every day that we go to work together. Even when I had my gas stations in Chicago, we worked together. She went to the office in one because I had one gas station that had the office in it, and we worked out of the office together there. We worked out of the office at home, and still today we go to the race shop every morning together.
So what's the
Um,
secret?
I don't know.
Because that's a lot of time together.
I haven't figured it out yet. Either I have a lot of patience or she does, but obviously it works.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. That's a lot of time to spend together.
Yeah, and you know it's when we get a new employee and they want to come to work, and you're a race people, so you understand this. You're not in. I tell them you're not interviewing for a job.
Mm-hmm.
You're interviewing for a lifestyle. This is not a job; it's a lifestyle. It's consuming. There are no 40-hour week work weeks.
Yeah.
There's no holidays because usually we race on holidays. So if you think this is a 9 to 5 job, I'm
It's
sorry,
not for
but
you.
not for you.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I mean, I'm from Florida, so I'm at Speed Weeks every year, and I'm always like, everyone's like, "Oh, what are you doing for Valentine's Day?" And I'm like, "I'll be at the racetrack." Like which is great. I mean, my fiance loves it.
Well,
We don't have to celebrate Valentine's Day,
well,
so and I'm fine with it.
you should come and celebrate my birthday because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, I'll never forget. I'll be at New Smyrna Speedway. This year, I think the
So,
Daytona 500 might fall on Valentine's Day.
oh, it may. I don't even know. But speaking of family, I've been so blessed to, first of all, to do what we love to do, which is racing.
Mm-hmm.
To do it with my family. My kids, Billy, who actually has been running the company for the last 18 years,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter Wendy and my wife, we've been part of the racing family our whole lives. The kids went to every race with us. You know, Wendy is now a pit reporter for PRN or Sirius, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't. Um, she was a TV reporter. Billy's running the company for the last 18 years. But what really has made me smile this year is that just yesterday, here we are at the shop. There's me and my wife, we're working. There's Billy and his wife. They're in the office working. And three of my grandsons are working in the shop with us.
Wow.
Yeah. Billy has twin boys. They're both 17. And they work in the shop during summer full time. And my daughter's son, who's now 15, he works. You can hire a family at 15. There's no child labor laws, so he's already tried to use that one on me. So yeah, my three grandsons are working at the shop. It was like,
Wow.
you can't ask for anything better than that.
No, it's awesome seeing families continue to grow, racing families, because it is something that you like it's hard to get new people involved in. I don't know why. I mean, but for some reason my generation is not that into racing unless they come from a racing background. It's hard to
Yep,
get new people
yep.
involved in the sport, which is really sad because like we've said, it is a lifestyle. It is addicting. Once you're here, you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Whether
Well, I shouldn't say that. I got about 90 days left.
I was gonna say.
you'll be in it somehow or another, I'm sure. We'll see you at tracks and stuff.
So
But
go ahead. You got other questions? I've been talking.
oh
I'm
no,
sorry.
you're fine. I was going to go back a little bit to having the all-female pit crew. That was a little bit before the time of when there were a lot of females wanting to be involved in the sport. How did other teams and drivers kind of react to you being the first of having the all-female pit crew?
Well, everyone kind of laughed. They thought, oh, big publicity gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
which I made sure it wasn't. And I told the girls that they practiced 3 nights a week back in Chicago
Mm-hmm.
in my driveway behind my house, because that's where my race car shop was, in the garage. They practiced 3 nights a week. Every night, every week they kept practicing and practicing. And I would sabotage their practices. I would, when they went over the wall to change a tire, I would disconnect the hose, or I would do something for them to see if they could, react and fix the problem.
Yeah.
So they were pretty well versed on knowing what to do. What really made everyone change their minds was one year we were asked to do a pit stop demonstration in downtown Talladega, Alabama, and there was a show car down there. It was a Helen Ray show car, and the Childress guys were there. And they got to realize back then, nobody was doing timed pit stops. A 30-second pit stop was kind of the norm.
Yeah.
We had big steel jacks, and nobody ever thought about 9-second pit stops, which is ridiculous. But so we did a pit stop demonstration, and the girls beat the Childress crew.
Wow.
Okay. It was the girls against the Childress crew, and the girls beat him. So now all of a sudden, that's what made us really good friends, with Chocolate Myers and Danny Smith and Kirk Shelmerdine was because they were there and they saw the girls do what they were doing. But they got to realize the girls were practicing for like a year. So they knew what to, they were very well choreographed and what to do. Plus, I had cheated. Back then I had a custom made aluminum jack for them, which back then nobody had one. George Brunhosel, he was the guy that made the jacks. Well, he made a prototype for me for the girls. So that's when he started to make aluminum racing jacks. So just stuff like that. And then once I won my championship in '87, nobody could complain. We raced. I'm trying to think what track we're at. We did a pit stop where everybody pitted under green and lost the lap except me.
Wow.
We came in, did a pit stop, and we didn't lose a lap, but everyone else did. Yep.
That's a testament to how hard these girls were working.
Yeah.
So how long after your '87 championship did you keep the all-female pit crew?
We kept it. There was a change in management in Permatex, which the parent company was Loctite, in '88. Yeah, I don't think we went through '89. I think it was '88. And there was a new lady in charge, and for some reason, she didn't like the all-female pit crew. So my contract expired in June, because that's when we started it, was in June.
Mm-hmm.
So come, I think it was '88, come June of '88, we're going to go to the Talladega race in July. And the president of Loctite, who became a friend of ours through a couple of years of sponsorship, said, okay, hey, Bill, I'll see you and the girls in Talladega next month. And I said, I'm sorry, his name was Wes Todd. And he was president of Loctite, which was the parent company for Permatex. And he says, what do you mean? I says, well, I can't even remember the lady's name. I said, well, she canceled our contract. I said, so it ends June 30th. We won't be in Talladega. And he says, what? He said, I didn't approve that. I don't know anything about it. And I says, well, I'm sponsored by Permatex, Wes. What do you want me to do? 2 days later, I get a letter that they reinstated us for the year.
It's all about who you know.
Yeah. But by then, there was change in management and change in their marketing strategy. They had been with us, I think it was for 3 or 4 years, I think it was. Yeah, 3 or 4 years. So it worked out good. We stayed friends forever.
That's awesome. That's a great story, man.
Yeah.
I've got to ask, obviously you started out with this essentially family team and went and won championship, and you've just grown. I mean, obviously nowadays you look at your company and that your family owns, and you don't think ARCA without the last name Venturini in it. When did you guys make that choice to kind of venture from the family team to become kind of a bigger entity?
Well, it had to be about 20 years ago, I'd have to say. I had raced and I had fulfilled my desire to do what I was doing. So there was no issue with me. So now my son Billy's racing. And now we're living here in Charlotte, in Concord. And we're racing and we're racing for a couple of years. And then finally I realized, where am I getting all this money? And when I moved here, the house that we built here was totally paid for. And I built my race car shop and a couple buildings. And I had a little mortgage on that, but my house was paid for. So like 2 years of this going on racing, you got to understand, when I tell Kathy, hey, I need a motor, she's okay, here's whatever, $10,000, $20,000, go pay for it. So finally I go to her, I go, Kath, where are we getting all this money? And she says, well, the home equity line that we had on our house? I said, yeah. I says, well, we don't owe anything. She said, oh yeah, we maxed it out.
Oh no.
Said, what? She said, well, how do you think I've kept Billy racing? And I said, you've maxed out our home equity line? She said, yeah. I said, and I tapped into the building equity line too. And I said, oh my God. I said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Well, we had to keep Billy racing." So I sat Billy down, and this was at the end of a season. We were getting ready for the next season, and I said, "Billy, I can't afford to do this anymore. I'm broke. I mean, I've remortgaged everything. I can't mortgage any more money, any more leverage." And he says, "Well, I don't want to quit, Dad." He says, "But I don't want to get out. I don't want to get out of racing. But if I have to quit driving, I'll do that." And I says, "Well, I'll tell you, I'll make you a deal." I said, "I'll give you part of the company, and you do with it what you want. I'm done." I said, I don't want to have to find the money. I don't want to have to do anything. I'll support you, whatever you want to do, but you have to do it yourself. You have to grow the company." And he said, "Well, we've got this one guy, Tom Birdie, gentleman that we've been helping a little." And he says, let's keep doing what we're doing. And I said, "Okay." And he got, he was, he had raced legend cars with JD Gibbs,
Okay.
Joe Gibbs' son, who's passed away, JD. And JD and Billy became good friends racing legends cars. Well, JD, I don't know how my son worked this out with JD, but somehow or another they said, "Hey, can you put this? We got this young kid. He's 15 years old. We need to put him in an ARCA car, and we want to race him." We says, "Okay." His name's Joey Logano, and we says, "Okay." So Billy knows what's going to happen. So he works his butt off. We get this car ready to run Rockingham in an ARCA race to put Joey Logano in the car. So we put him in the car, and we annihilate the field. We lapped everyone but the second place car. We win the race, hands down, by far. Well, that put us on the map. Well, now all of a sudden JD says, "Hey, you know what? Let's run him another race. Let's run him in Talladega." Okay, so now we get a speedway car ready for him. And so then we run Joey again. Well, by now, Joey finishes second at Talladega. So now all of a sudden, people are looking at what we're doing. And Billy just took the ball and he ran with it. And I warned him, I said, "Just remember something. You're going to create this big monster. You have to feed it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
The pressure's
said, "Okay,
on.
pressure's on." And he's taken the ball and we have gone. Joey Logano was one of our first drivers ever to drive for me. Since then, we're at 161 different drivers.
Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah. We hit 161 different drivers this year. Well, actually, now 162 because I got a new driver this week.
Wow. So you've seen obviously a lot of different drivers, different driving styles, and what kind of are you looking for as you're bringing in new drivers? Is it more talent? Is it raw talent? Someone who's coachable? What are you guys looking for?
It Billy does all of that between them. We're Toyota's driver development program for Toyota.
Yes.
So we look at. I'll give you a good example. Ryan Blaney drove for us, and I knew Dave Blaney because I grew up. We were racing together, and he was sponsored by Amoco, and I was sponsored by Amoco. And he calls me up, and we take Ryan Blaney to Winchester, and we're leading the race. We're going to kick their butt, and he blows the right front tire. So Dave calls me up after the race, and we talk, and he says, "Well, Bill, what do you think?" And I says, "Well, Dave, you're effed." "Okay, I won't." And he goes, "What?" I says, "Yeah, you're screwed, buddy." I says, "Because you're going to spend a lot of money to get this kid because he's what you're going to need to do to make him grow." Look where Ryan Blaney is today.
Yeah.
William Byron, same thing. Came to us, 15 years old, wet behind the ears. And Billy told his dad, after he ran a couple of races with us, he told his dad, he said, "You better get him hooked up with the right people because this kid's going to go somewhere." You could kind of tell. But at the same time, when we get them young, you try to tell the parents or their sponsors, The right way to do this program, it's a 3-year program.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Eckes, Jesse Love, Chandler Smith, Corey Heim, all come through our program with a 3-year program. By the 3rd year, they're ready to move up. You get some people that they say, hey, we got to move our kid up. We got to move. And 90% of the time it fails.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're not ready to move up at 16 years old. Or at 17. They're not ready to run trucks or Xfinity. And when they try and then they fail, then they're gone.
Yeah.
You can't put a good driver in a program that's going to fail, because the minute they fail, the industry knows they're not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And I mean, you see it even in the smaller, like short track racing stuff. People move up from pro lates to super lates too quick, and from their legend cars and stuff, and it's the same thing. Like, they don't give themselves the chance to succeed. Even if you are good the first year, it's different year to year. The competition's different. You've got to take your time and really learn every track and the way it changes year over year, because that's a huge thing too. It's not just the cars and the competition, but learning the tracks inside and out. So yeah, it's a great point you make of the 3 years. It's time. It gives you, the driver, the opportunity, and it also allows them to get to know how to work with the same and or different groups of people under high pressure situations.
You just hit the nail on the head. It's learning how to deal with your pit crew and your crew chief and your spotter. It's not just the race car. It's everything. It's a whole combination. And that's what the Toyota racing program does. They have a nutritionist. They have a workout center. They do sim racing with us. It's a whole program.
Yeah.
And part of it is knowing the people, getting to understand how the crews work, how the owners work.
It's truly setting them up for success,
Yes.
moving down the line at the same time, not just now, but later on in their career.
And I know we're getting a little long on time, but I know you want to know about me selling the team.
How'd you know? That was our next question.
I figured you were going to ask me. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Not only am I ready, my wife's ready, and my son Billy's ready. And the part that we were very fortunate, when Billy came to me last year towards the end of the year and said, hey, I've got I think I want to sell the team. And I said, Billy, all I asked you to do when I gave you the team was promise me we'd make 50 years. I said, you succeeded that. We're at 52. So whatever you want to do with the company is fine with me. He said, well, I don't want to sell it to somebody just to sell it, because I don't want it to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Like an investor or something like that. Someone is going to just split the assets and go away with it.
Yeah.
He said, I want to sell it to a racer that wants to grow the team. Well, Nitro Motorsports, which is Nick Tucker,
mm-hmm.
he is Toyota's GR8 and TA2 team for Toyota already. So he's got the Toyota relationship with them. He's got a relationship with Billy very well. He's a true racer. And Billy said, hey, I think this is going to be a good transition. And we've sold it. They take over ownership October 15th. I'm gone. Me and my wife are gone. There's 3 things changing: me, Kathy, and the name on the building. Everything. They're staying in the shop. They've kept all of our employees. Billy's staying on as general manager at least for a year. They bought all the equipment. They bought all the race cars. They're leasing the building from us for 2 years. So, it's a 2-year program where they're leasing that, and they're leasing one of the trucks or 2 of the trucks on. But the rest of all the other equipment and race cars and engines, and that's all going to be theirs as of October 15th.
Wow, that's awesome. It's awesome that it's staying, like you're saying, within a racing family, and you're not going to see your 52 years of hard work of you and your family just dissolve.
Yeah, right. Dissolve and go to an auction. It's not happening.
No, and it's going to be equally as rewarding too to watch it continue to grow and see what someone else's hands can do on it. That's, I feel like, super exciting too, and see what new evolves from it. And it's definitely well deserved of you and your wife to have a great retirement and start it a little bit stress free.
Yeah, and actually, I owned a building next door also from where the race team's at, and me and my wife are moving into that building. We got two offices we're going to move into there, and I got a 5,000 square foot unit that I'm keeping, and we're making it a museum. So
Awesome.
yeah, I've got the last car Billy drove and the last car I drove, and I got some other cars, and I got stuff from my dad and stuff from me and stuff from the old female pit crew and Billy and all the different drivers we have. So I'm going to fill it, but it's going to take me another year or so. But we're not moving. We're going to be close.
Yes.
So I'm going to be right next door to the race team anyhow. So.
Well, if you ever need an extra pair of hands moving some boxes into there, we'll volunteer next
Yeah.
time we're up in Concord.
I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate having you on this evening. I mean, obviously, we've learned a lot, and we enjoyed getting to learn some of the stories from your racing history.
Well, yeah, and believe it or not, I don't know if you know who Lou Boyd is and Bones Boucher. They're writers that do they're doing a book on me, which should be out at the beginning of next year, I hope. So if anyone wants to hear about the rest of my whole life story, it's going to be in the book.
Yeah, definitely.
With pictures.
We love a picture book.
Yeah, I love when I get the books. It's got pictures. It helps me read.
Yeah, and it makes it goes by faster too, because you're really visually getting to see what is actually the car actually looked like, and not
Yeah.
just having to imagine it, because cars have changed so much over the years.
So whichever chapter you're reading, it'll have pictures involved with that chapter. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And do you know where will it be sold on Amazon and stuff, or is that still in the works?
Coastal 181. I know that.
Okay.
But we'll put out a notice when I get it done.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out on it, and we'll definitely share it to all of our followers and everything, to let them know once it's available.
And once I get in the museum, people are more than welcome to come in and visit.
Awesome.
You know, it's not going to be a big thing. It's just my personal stuff. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I'm sure you have a lot over the years, and it'll be great for you and your family to have, but also to show off, because the Venturini name has been in ARCA and motorsports for, like you're saying, over 50 years.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Thank you for coming on. It was great learning a little bit more about your story and the future for Venturini Motorsports.
Well, I appreciate the time, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well, sir, and thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
All right, and we will be back after just a few messages to kind of recap our conversation with Bill. That was a really, really great conversation. We definitely learned a lot. So we will be right back after these short messages.
Hi, my name is Joe Constance with Joe's Racing Products. My company has been producing high-quality racing components in the USA for over 30 years. We know the commitment and determination it takes to win races, because we race too. We're determined to produce quality products that can help you get to the finish line first. Ask your dealer for Joe's Racing Products or visit us online at joesracing.com.
Buying or selling a home? It's more than a transaction, it's a strategy. I'm Amy Lynn, and I bring clarity, confidence, and results to your real estate journey. Whether you're searching for the perfect place to call home or preparing to list your home for top dollar, I've got you covered. With smart marketing, strong negotiation, and a network you can trust, I don't just help clients close, I help them win. Let's make your next move the right one.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Short Track Racing. That was a really good, really fun conversation we had with Bill Venturini. It was awesome learning about how involved his wife is and how much she really persuaded him into continuing and furthering his racing career and starting an all-female pit crew. And it wasn't just the publicity stunt, like he said. He worked them really hard. And the hard work paid off. Within the same year that they started, he was able to win his first championship, pit crews, as we know, play such a vital role in the racing community and your career. So it was awesome to see and hear about how hard they worked and that it paid off, especially at a time when I feel like it was not common, as he was saying. People kind of laughed at it, but it was awesome to hear his stories on that. And then also just to hear about the evolution of Venturini Motorsports and how they've started to bring in up and coming drivers and kind of nurture them through their program. And then now they've sold to a Nitro Motorsports, and the company is going to get to continue to grow. So I think that it's been a very successful run for Venturini Motorsports, and I can't wait to see it continue to grow under the new ownership.
Yeah, I mean, my first job in racing, I worked for Speed 51, and the head office in Concord was literally right down the road from Venturini. And I remember there were times, we'd be packing camera equipment on some of their trucks to head out west or something like that, just because, we were small time, short track agency, trying to get the stories from all over the country. And they were just good, kind-hearted folks that were trying to help us out. So, it's cool to see the evolution from just him and his wife one day saying, hey, let's go racing, to going and winning a championship, then building a legacy with
his kids and whole family.
Oh my gosh. I mean, imagine walking into the shop and you've got your kids, your great grandkids down there just working away on the cars. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. We've always said that racing is a family sport, and that family is truly a testament to racing as a family sport. So it was great talking to him, and thank you, Bill, for joining in. And I guess next week we will be having Evan Shotko on the podcast. Very excited for that conversation. I know he's growing his own chassis company.
Yeah,
and building
we got
his
one
own.
sitting right behind us.
Yeah, it's getting ready. I think it's getting ready to go out to be powder coated soon. So excited to see what color we're picking. I haven't heard anything about it. So.
I mean, in this shop, it could be literally
any color. So I will be staying tuned for that one. I know it's going out sometime soon. But yeah, excited for that conversation with Evan and to hear about the future for his racing career along with the future of Shotco Motorsports.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great episode, and we look forward to hearing more from him. And until then, let's talk short track racing.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Hi, my name is Joe Constance with Joe's Racing Products. My company has been producing high-quality racing components in the USA for over 30 years. We know the commitment and determination it takes to win races because we race too. We're determined to produce quality products that can help you get to the finish line first. Ask your dealer for Joe's Racing products or visit us online at joesracing.com.
Buying or selling a home? It's more than a transaction, it's a strategy. I'm Amy Lynn, and I bring clarity, confidence, and results to your real estate journey. Whether you're searching for the perfect place to call home or preparing to list your home for top dollar, I've got you covered. With smart marketing, strong negotiation, and a network you can trust, I don't just help clients close, I help them win. Let's make your next move the right one.